He was only 17, just a boy, with dreams too big for the place he was born, the youngest son of an aging father, the favorite, the marked one. They called him Joseph, but he would become much more than just a name. His father loved him more than all his other sons. It wasn't a secret. It was stitched into the very coat Joseph wore, a robe of many colors, a symbol of affection, and a target on his back. To his brothers, that robe wasn't love. It was a threat. To them, he wasn't chosen. He was arrogant, spoiled, dangerous, and then came the dreams. Joseph dreamed of greatness. He dreamed of honor, of power. And he told his brothers, wide-eyed and proud, "We were binding sheaves in the field, and your sheaves bowed down to mine." Another night. The sun, the moon, and 11 stars bowed before me. In his young heart, it was awe. In theirs, it was an insult. They hated him for it. Not just for the dreams, but for the way he wore them like that robe, boldly. They called him the dreamer. Not in admiration, but in mockery. And Joseph? He didn't know yet what it would cost him to dream. One day, Jacob, his father, sent him to check on his brothers who were far from home, tending sheep near Shechem. Joseph went willingly, not knowing he was walking straight into the first betrayal. They saw him from far off. "Here comes the dreamer," one of them hissed. "Let's kill him." Reuben, the eldest, stepped in. Perhaps guilt already whispered in his conscience. "No, don't kill him. Just throw him into that pit." He planned to come back and rescue Joseph, but plans can die as easily as trust. They ripped off the robe, the one thing that marked him as loved, and threw him into the earth, a cistern, a pit with no water, no light, just silence. There are moments in life when dreams die, not with thunder, but with silence, alone, forgotten, trapped. For Joseph, this was that moment. A boy who dreamed of the sky, now buried beneath the dirt. While he cried in the pit, his brothers sat nearby and ate, laughing, chewing, tearing bread while tearing a future apart. Then Judah spoke. "What gain is there if we kill him? Let's sell him." A caravan of Ishmaelite traders was passing by. They sold their brother, flesh and blood, for 20 silver coins. And Joseph was taken. No one ever dreams of chains. No one prays to be sold. But this was where God's dream would begin, not in comfort, but captivity. Back home, they dipped his robe in goat's blood and handed it to their father, saying, "We found this. Is it your son's?" Jacob tore his clothes in anguish. He wept for a son he believed was dead. And Joseph? He was alive, but dead to everyone he loved. The robe was gone. The dream seemed lost. The journey had just begun. They thought they had buried the dream, but some seeds only grow after they've been buried. In pain, in silence, in darkness. Joseph was sold in Egypt to a man named Potiphar, a servant now, a slave. But heaven was still watching. The dreamer had been sold. But the dream, it was not for sale. Not then, not ever. What do you do when your story starts in betrayal? When the people closest to you become the first ones to break you? Joseph would learn. We all do. Eventually. Because when God gives you a dream, He also gives you a process, and sometimes the pit is part of the plan.